All right, so what are you going to need in order to complete all of this exciting work? I told you you don't need a textbook. I'll give you all your readings. You're going to need to have really consistent access to the internet. And by consistent, I mean probably every day, because people are going to be asking you for clarification, or they're going to be posing questions or thoughts to you on the discussion board. And you want to make sure that you can follow up with those things. So access to the internet. Hopefully you're having an experience of this course on a computer or a tablet, not some tiny phone. The other thing I think is really important for you to bring to this course is discipline. The way the course is structured in 8 weeks is we've compressed 2 weeks of ordinary semester learning into 1 week. That means this course is going to move fast. It is going to get really easy for you to fall behind. In particular, each week you've got these 2 thought primers to do, and half of the credit for those thought primers comes from your participation in the discussion on the discussion board. And at the end of each week, that week's discussion goes away and you'll no longer be able to participate in it. So if you're getting behind and not able to participate in the week's discussions, you could really get sunk quick, okay? So quickly. So make sure that you come up with some sort of a structure for your life for the next 8 weeks so that you're able to work through your thought primers on a consistent basis and kind of make them manageable. Give yourself time to think about things and just make sure you're staying plugged into what's going on in our course on a week-to-week basis, maybe even day-to-day basis. The other thing that's really useful for you to bring to this course is a sense of humility, okay? And you can do that by just acknowledging that you're probably wrong about most everything. Seriously, I'm not saying that flippantly. Everything you think is true right now, or many of the things, most of the things that you think are true right now, are not going to be things that you think are true in the exact same way a year from now or 10 years from now. At least I hope not. I hope that you're not so inflexible that you don't open yourself up to learning anything. Why would you want to do that? Okay. So I'm operating from the assumption that most of the things that I think are true are probably not true. I just don't know it yet. That leaves me kind of open to learning new things and experiencing this wonderful phenomenon of curiosity. Okay. We don't want to go through life just looking for evidence that confirms what we want to believe is true or what we currently believe. That's sort of doing life wrong. Instead, what we want to do is put ourselves in this very risky position of saying, there's things I don't know. And what's really scary is there's some things that I don't know. And I want to know those things, but I can't even identify what they are. So I'm very vulnerable, but I'm willing to take a risk. And by taking this risk and being curious about other people's ideas and about ideas I've not yet experienced, I'm going to learn something, and that's going to make my life richer, okay? And then the last thing is, you want to bring with you a desire to understand how others have come to their ideas. As I said earlier, what someone thinks is not terribly interesting. This big debate going on about abortion, I can't think of a more boring conversation than what somebody else thinks about abortion. Who cares? What I care about is how they came to the conclusion that they did, because maybe they have a really good, interesting thinking process that led to them to a conclusion that I need to give more consideration to. It's not necessarily the conclusion itself that's interesting. Anybody can have that. It's what was the thinking process that led that person there, and that's when we get to kind of think and ponder. I wonder if that journey through those ideas is a worthwhile journey that I should now replicate on my own to see if I'm able to come to the same or a different conclusion. All right. So let's think about how we can dig into the process that each of us is using to come to the conclusions that we come to. All right. Next up is grading. Super important.